One of the most praised smartwatches of early 2016 was the Huawei watch, but like with most technology, it seems like over time it slowly becomes forgotten. So how does it hold up in 2017? Is it still worth buying? I've used this watch for about 2 months now without any sort of protection, and it's held up pretty nicely thanks to the scratch-resistant sapphire crystal glass and the stainless steel design. It comes in gold, silver, or black, but I happen to have the silver one with the black leather strap, and it looks really nice. It happens to be one of the better looking smartwatches even in 2017. It has a classic timeless look that'll never go out of style, and it's still one of the best looking smartwatches to date. The display measures 1.4 inches across with a stunning AMOLED display, so colors are crisp, vibrant, and text also appears crisp, and it holds up well under bright lights. It has an always-on display, but you can always change that in settings. There are almost 50 preloaded watch faces. The stock watch faces range from having a classic look or a more modern and minimal look, and there are hundreds of watch faces in the Google Play Store that are available to download. Google Fit is also pre-installed on the watch, but Huawei has decided to make their own fitness app called Daily Tracking. Essentially, it does the same thing as Google Fit, but with slightly nicer graphics, and it has a slightly better user interface. Once you enter your personal info, it will keep score of your steps, calories burned, and the amount of times you stand up during a day. You can set all your own goals, and Huawei also claims that the watch will know whether you are walking, running, or climbing. There's no GPS on board though, and there's no NFC for mobile payments. It does, however, have a heart rate monitor, but it's just not accurate enough to rely on because it only counts pulse on very still wrists. It is IP67, so dust shouldn't be an issue, and it will handle rain and survive a dunk in up to 1 meter of water for half an hour. Huawei says the battery life lasts up to 1.5 days. I've had it for 2 months now, with brightness up to 50%, and all the connectivity options on, and I'll usually have about 35 to 40% battery life left at the end of the day, so battery life is up there with pretty much all smartwatches. Huawei has worked closely with Google to ensure that they were creating a smartwatch that would not become outdated within a year or two. A true example of this, before the inclusion was widely known, Huawei built in a speaker for audio feedback, something that Android Wear did not support at the time. And as of the Marshmallow update, there is now speaker support for the Huawei watch, so anyone with a Huawei watch can listen to music, take calls, and hear reminders. This is not something that all Android Wear devices from 2016 can claim, but Huawei can. The specs inside of the Huawei watch should also keep up just fine for the future of Android Wear. At this time, we don't expect anything too extravagant coming in terms of software, so the device's Snapdragon 400 processor and 512 MB of RAM should maintain a well-performing smartwatch with no problem. So is it still worth buying? I would say yes. The price has dropped from $349 to $299, but it may still be a little too pricey for some. But Huawei has had major discounts before, and I have seen it as low as $199 on Amazon. The Huawei watch is a future-proof smartwatch, and it's one of the few smartwatches that I would recommend even in 2017. Well guys, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.